Okay, let's jump right into this. Welcome, everyone. Today we are unpacking a seriously fascinating guide from the 7-Minute Language School. And what they've done here is pretty amazing. They've essentially taken an entire language and distilled it down to its absolute functional essentials. We don't need some massive, intimidating textbook today, no way. We're just looking for the right tools to get us through a real-world travel journey. We're going to extract the absolute baseline of Spanish survival so you can actually connect with people right from the get-go. Let's unlock this whole new world of communication together, shall we? 10. Literally just 10. That is it. It's wild to think about, but a mere 10 simple phrases are literally the only thing standing between you and basic conversational confidence abroad. I mean, it is incredibly empowering, isn't it? Realizing you absolutely do not need fluency to be polite, functional, and warmly received in a Spanish-speaking country. By focusing entirely on these highly curated words, we get to completely bypass all those overwhelming grammar rules and just jump straight into the good stuff, the joy of actual human connection.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to picture this right now. You're stepping off a plane. You know the feeling, right? That warm air hits you, the sounds of a vibrant, totally new city are buzzing all around you, but instead of feeling intimidated or lost, you feel entirely prepared. You are completely ready to navigate this new country using a framework we're going to call our traveler's arc. We are going to build your confidence step by step, starting from the very first moment you make eye contact with a local, all the way to a graceful, smooth exit. So let's build that vocabulary.
Phase 1. First contact and answers. Let's establish that crucial baseline for your very first interactions.
Now paint a vivid picture in your mind for a second. You are walking into this bustling local cafe in Madrid, or maybe a super colorful, loud market in Mexico City. The barista looks up at you. What do? Well, you confidently use Hola. It is your universal golden ticket to start literally any friendly interaction. Saying Hola signals that you're approachable, it shows you're trying, and most importantly, that you actually acknowledge the person standing right in front of you. Honestly, it is the absolute most important key to unlocking a positive experience, and the best part? It requires zero complicated pronunciation, just a warm, friendly hola.
And what's really interesting about this slide is how mastering these absolute opposites instantly gives you total control over your boundaries and your choices in a totally new language. Sí, meaning yes, and no, meaning, well, no. You see, once you've made that initial contact with your hola, you are inevitably going to be offered things. Someone asks if you'd like a menu? Sí. Do you want that super spicy salsa on your tacos? No. These two tiny little words are essentially your steering wheel. They allow you to safely navigate offers, directions, and interactions, giving you immediate agency in any situation.
Moving right along to Phase 2, the magic words. Once that initial contact is made, basic politeness becomes your ultimate currency.
Let me walk you through what I like to call the politeness process. Think of this as a step-by-step sequence for perfectly executing a friendly transaction, like, say, successfully ordering a coffee. Step 1, you make your request, but you soften it with por favor, please. Un café, por favor. Okay, step 2, the barista actually hands you that beautiful, steaming cup of coffee, and you receive it with a warm gracias, thank you. And then we have step 3, the acknowledgement, de nada, which we'll actually unpack in just a second. But this 1-2-3 rhythm, por favor, gracias, de nada, it really is the absolute heartbeat of polite society.
Now, the crucial point is how de nada gracefully closes the loop of gratitude. When someone says gracias to you, maybe you held the door open for them or you handed them a scarf they dropped, you reply with de nada. It translates directly to of nothing, or, as we usually say in English, you're welcome. It is basically the conversational equivalent of tying a perfect little bow on the entire interaction. Using it shows you aren't just robotically reciting lines from some old phrasebook, but that you actually understand the natural back and forth flow of Spanish courtesy.
Phase 3. Navigating social bumps. Because let's face it, we all have that universal panic of making a minor social mistake abroad. So let's look at the ultimate panic button words.
The first of these panic button words is disculpe. Think of disculpe as your polite, everyday maneuvering tool. Picture this completely relatable scenario. You're walking down an incredibly crowded, narrow cobblestone street and you just need to squeeze by someone. Or maybe you're sitting at a lively restaurant and you need to politely grab a waiter's attention to ask for the check. Disculpe is absolutely perfect here. It simply means excuse me. It's light, it's polite, and it just announces your presence or your minor need to interrupt, all without carrying any heavy social guilt.
But we really need to contrast that light interruption with lo siento. While disculpe is great for just getting attention or lightly passing by, lo siento is strictly reserved for genuine apologies. If you, say, accidentally step squarely on a local's foot on the subway, or, whoops, you spill a giant glass of water all over their table, disculpe just isn't going to cut it. You absolutely need lo siento, I am sorry. It conveys actual empathy and sincere regret. Trust me, knowing the difference between these two social bumpers will make you incredibly socially adept out there.
And that brings us to Phase 4, parting ways. This is the final stage of our interaction arc, ensuring you know exactly how to wrap up these newly minted conversations on a really high note. And this brilliantly illustrates the complete cycle of our conversation. We started our entire journey with the welcoming, open, friendly start of Hola, and now we get to visually contrast it by bookending it with the definitive goodbye of Adiós. Adiós is firm, it's clear, and it is universally understood. It is literally the period at the end of the sentence. When you're leaving a little shop and you know for a fact you won't be back, a polite Gracias, Adiós completes the transaction perfectly.
But sometimes, adiós just feels a little bit too final, doesn't it? Well, that is exactly why we have Hasta pronto. Hasta pronto literally means see you soon. It is the absolute perfect alternative when you want to leave the door wide open. Maybe you've just had a wonderful, funny chat with the hotel receptionist, or you fully plan on returning to that exact same amazing bakery tomorrow morning. You say hasta pronto to show warmth and the real expectation of future friendly encounters. It just leaves this lingering, super positive feeling.
Let's move to and see how this builds into our ultimate summary matrix here. Just take a look at the complete toolkit you've just built. I highly encourage you to take a mental screenshot of this right now. With literally just these 10 phrases, sí, no, hola, adiós, por favor, disculpe, gracias, lo siento, de nada, and hasta pronto, you have an entire robust architecture for basic survival and politeness. You've got your greetings, affirmations, courtesy, apologies, and your farewells. The whole shebang. This little toolkit represents a massive leap in your ability to actually connect with the Spanish-speaking world.
So the only thing left now is the real world. I have to ask, which phrase will you use first? Will it be a confident, smiling hola at the morning market, or maybe a polite gracias for your afternoon coffee? I want to challenge you to actually take these words out into the world. Start practicing them immediately. Heck, even if it's just practicing in the mirror tonight. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer of the 7-Minute Language School's Survival Guide.